Okay, grace, peace, and blessings, the one and all. This is your host, Brother Devon, and I have my wonderful co-host with me on this side here, Sister Charmaine. Sister Charmaine is
Very
currently,
nice.
yeah, she's currently by the moon. You all can see her in the moon, and there is breeze. Yeah, as you see her lovely hair blowing in the wind out of space. Yes, yes, folks, there's breeze out of Sister Shamina, I think our background like yours affects
Out
affects
in the
jealous.
open, yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
think I
yes,
think I think yeah, your kind of background. I love your
yes.
background.
Midnight breeze.
Yeah, how you doing?
I am good. How you doing?
I'm good. Tired, like wow, but I'm good.
Yes.
Well, well, it's good here. Good to be
Talk
here.
about His grace, yeah?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, we have to give God thanks for sure, for sure. But welcome to everyone. We do have a new topic for those who will be checking us out on Facebook, probably, and those definitely checking us out on YouTube. We have a new topic we're going to be dealing with this evening, and it's going to be treating with the virtues of a woman per se. I'm trying to remember the question. This is it. This is it. Does a woman's virtues equal marital success? Right. So that's the question. And just to paint the picture for everyone, there was a post, right, and it outlined different, I guess, attributes of a woman. If a woman does X, Y, and Z and whatever, whatever, then I guess the article points out some positives or what have you. But I want to give Sister Charmaine the opportunity. She might do a better job at explaining this than me. And we plan to go through a breakdown, a discussion on some of these virtues. So, Sister Charmaine, I hand over to you, and then we'll get it rolling.
Yes, so good night, everyone. And, we are pleased to be here tonight. We know we weren't here for like 2 weeks, I think, yeah?
Yes, yes.
But we are here all the same. So yes, Brother Devon spoke about that topic we really want to bite into, and we invite open discussions and dialogue, and we trust that this topic will help all of us, yeah, male and female. Brother Devon, do you want to share the scripture before we start? I'm not hearing you. We're muted.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry
Yeah,
about that. Yes,
yeah,
I
sorry.
absolutely want to do. Let me see if I can set it up in the background, and let me know if you are seeing the screen. Are you seeing it, Sister Shaman?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we read in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 and verse 11. Sister Shaman, you want to read it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This is 10, and I read, who can find a virtuous woman? This is a question. For her price is far above rubies. Verse 11, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no spoil.
Need,
Amen.
no need of spoil.
No need of spoil. Thank you,
Yeah,
Brother Devon. No need of
yeah,
spoil.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right. All right, go ahead, Sister Shaman. I wonder if it coming across what's that? It coming across?
Pardon me?
I wonder if the article coming across one
Yes,
side.
the article is coming, but scroll up to one.
Yes, yes, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
yes. So this is the first question that we want to deal with. Okay, marriage is a give and take. That is the heading of this topic. Well, the topic that they presented here. First question: when a woman is humble, she becomes a natural charm to her husband. Now, these statements they are making, they are saying that the woman with these attributes that we are going to deal with tonight, if it is she has these attributes, she will make these different things happen. So the first one is they are claiming that when a woman is humble, she becomes a natural charm. And before, I pass it to Brother Devon, because he's the man, and he has to test this and let us know if this is really true. So what humble means? Humble means having or showing a modest or, or low estimate of one's importance. In other words, then, you are a woman. Let's give a little scenario. You're a woman, you're well educated, you're well qualified, you probably came from a background where you are wealthy, you probably are beautiful in terms of physical beauty and whatever other attributes you may have. You may be a powerful person in society, a successful person in society, and so on. But this number one here is saying that in spite of that, right, being humble is showing a low estimate of your importance. Okay, so not because you have all these things, beauty and money and qualifications, whatever going for you, you have to show off yourself and with arrogance, and you will talk down to your husband. So this is saying that if you are humble, if these things really mean nothing much to you, yeah, because you know that it really came from God. Yeah, if you show less importance, you will become a natural charm to your husband. And I also look at that word charm, Brother Devon. That word charm is the power or quality of delighting, attracting, or fascinating others. So this statement is saying here, if you are humble, meaning if you show a lower esteem of all that you have, right, in the natural, you will become a delight. You will become fascinating and attractive to your husband. That is what a natural charm. You don't have to put on anything. You don't have to, polish up anything. Just being humble, that becomes a natural thing to your husband. And when something is a charm, you love it and you take care of it, right? So this is a real emphatic statement, and I love it. And I want to say from the onset that I want to agree with that. I want to agree with this statement here. You become a natural charm to your husband. But there is also another side that I want to add. I have seen women who were humble, are humble, and yet still, according to the man you're married with, you still didn't become a charm to him. So in other words, then, it's according to the man's whole mindset and how he thinks and whatnot, because you could be doing everything. You could be humble, you could be, cleaning the house, putting him first in spite of what you have. And yet still, because of his whole demeanor, because of how he probably was socialized, you don't have to be that charm to him, and you could be, quote unquote, actually a threat to him. So I just wanted to give the flip side. Whereas I agree with the statement, I am just saying too that it depends too on the man's whole mindset. But more than likely, if the woman presents herself as being humble, more than likely, most well-thinking husband or men, especially believers, or all men, they naturally will gravitate towards these different attributes, these humble attributes of a woman. Brother Devon, before I go further, right up to you.
Sister Charmaine, you did such a fantastic job. How I could follow up that?
Of course, you can follow up. Come on, here, man. We want to hear it from a man's perspective. Yeah.
Well, Sister Charmaine, I am so happy to hear what you said. You painted a proper picture. Both sides you presented for us, both the pros and the cons in a realistic level. Yes, for a man who has a woman that exercises that humility and that man has himself in an order, yes, that is a natural charm. And I like how you break down the definitions there, especially with charm, because while you were talking, I was checking up. I was like, charm? Like, charm don't come in my head. I'll be honest. As a man, I don't think about, all right, my wife being humble and the word charm. I don't talk like that. But probably because I'm a Trini, probably because the people I'm around, I don't talk like that. Right? But probably there are other men that talk like that. But I would think a humble woman, yeah, boy, I get through. I good to go. She ain't no raggedy, or gallery kind of thing, which I don't like. I don't like the old talk and the gallery and all the show and thing. So I will see it as extremely attractive. Yes. Charm
Yeah,
don't come about more, but it is fit. It fits.
it
It fits.
fits in, yes.
Yeah, it fits in. So,
Uh-huh.
so so I like how you did dealt with that side. I see Sister Shamin joining us. Sorry, Sister Shamin. Sister Laz joining us. We have
Yes,
I
good
know I
night,
know
Sister Lals.
I know several Shamin. So I have to juggle sometimes. So
Yeah,
good night to Sister Laz and shout out to Dawn and Samantha. To shout out to everyone. Right. So yes, once a woman gets a good man, yeah man, and you humble, listen, you are a natural charm to that man. And as Sister Charmaine said, and I'll bring on that dynamic very soon. But if you do meet up a man that is not appreciative of your humility, then he could abuse you
left,
due to
right, and
your
center.
yeah, yeah. He could abuse you left, right, and center. He will deal with you because you're so humble, and he could
Brother Devon, could you tell Brother Gavin what we are speaking about? Sorry for butting in, but
yeah,
so that he could be
yes,
on board. Good night, Brother Gavin.
yeah. Good night, Brother Gavin. Yes. So we
Sorry
have
for cutting.
that's totally fine. So,
Mhm.
for all those now joining us, we are addressing the topic. This is the question. Does a woman's virtues equal marital success? And we are looking at a particular article posted on Facebook by
Okay.
someone, and they hit certain points in terms of, I guess, they were saying, I think the heading of it was marriage is give and take. And I agree with that. I agree with that. So just to represent the article in its space, marriage is give and take. And my darling wife is on board. All right. She showed to know that
Good
yes,
night, Christine.
yes, man.
Sister
Yes, man.
Christine.
Yes. All right. So does a woman's virtues equal marital success? The overarching question. And we just looked at one of the points there in regards to a woman being humble. One of the points. And and that meaning that it is a natural charm to a husband. So yeah, if a woman is, if you meet that right man, as Sister Charmaine said, yeah,
Yeah,
man, yeah,
yeah,
it's a natural charm. But if you meet him, if you link up with a man who is abusive, he is not appreciative of your humility, then you could have some serious problems. I want to
yeah.
add this now. You could be with someone, a woman could be with a man who is not there. He's not in that mindset of recognizing your humility, or better yet, appreciating, because sometimes we recognize, but we don't appreciate. We
Yes.
don't respond accordingly. And if you as a man, let me talk to my brothers, if you as a man, right, turn around, you could start to appreciate what that woman is doing. Now, a woman now, let me talk about the woman. So my sisters, if you have a very aggressive personality and you're not humble,
Hmm.
and listen, I'll tell you, many of the brothers, as Sister Shaman asked from a male perspective, listen, we look for that. We look for that. Well, let me put it in its proper place. Let me say this. All men don't want no humble woman. Apparently, don't want. Some men like they love that. Rah, rah, rah. God, where's that sound? Why? Some, I don't know, like some men like that girl. I see. I can't stand that. I can't. And if you is my friend, you is my brethren, and I see your queen, your wife, your woman coming, when she come in, I have to go there, brother. All right, it was nice. All right, so you pick up later. I go on because I don't want that. I don't want that gallery.
But,
That old.
You will laugh.
We don't want that. We don't want that at all.
Really.
Yeah, yeah, I tell you. And men have come and talked with other men and say, why she does have to get on so much? And then we turn around and say, but you take shit. So if the woman who might have that type of a attitude, she switches and she has a more humble listen. With that humble demeanor, that man will appreciate you so much. Because he's
Hmm.
looking for that. He's looking for that. And I'll flip the script and say the same thing applies for men. If you're very aggressive and thinking things, and you're not humble and you're moving in a certain way, and your woman looking for that in you, brothers, when you flip, if you flip, your woman is going to really appreciate you. So I like that one. Sister Charmaine, me
Let
and
me
you
ask
on.
you another question to this.
Yes.
What is your perspective with respect to young ladies and women, whether young, middle age, or whatever, in society? Do you find that, from your little estimation, that they are more humble or that they are more aggressive in today's society? Because I could talk for a long time. To me, women, well, from what I have been told, they were always more humble. What is your view?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I think, Sister Charmaine, you have hit me my number one question for the week. Every week I had to look for somebody to hit my real good question. That is the best question I get for the entire week. Thank you very much. In my estimation, I believe that women of years past were more humble than today. On a broad scale, like from a male, from a guy, just sitting there, just watching and see how women conduct themselves today, and you compare that to the women back then. No, back then women carried themselves with more poise and decorum and respect. Things that would have been done um by women in times past that were shunned, that people felt ashamed of, women felt ashamed of. Now people boast about it, and women are more likely to become verbally abusive, disrespectful, outright, don't care. Now things have gone out the door, the window, everything.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
and let's throw that question even out for our broader audiences who listening. Guys, you all give your 2 cents on Sister Shami's question. It's a fantastic question. For my ladies, you all be honest. And for the brothers, you all be honest. What do you think? Do you all think that women of today are same as years past in your parents' time and so on? Or do you think there has been a change for the better or for the worse? You answer that, right?
Hmm.
But Sister Shami, you asked me the question, but I,
Yes.
I want to hear your view.
So
Yeah.
listen, so I also want to throw out a question to the men. If, let's say, you have a choice, right? I am asking this. You have one pretty attractive in all ways in terms of, beauty, physical beauty, nice skin, nice structure, nice shape, beautiful, nice hair, whatever kind of hair, beautiful hair and everything, beautiful features, yes. Um, and okay, gainfully employed and whatnot, but is very arrogant. I want to know, and there is somebody else who probably may not have the physical attributes as this other person. Which one will you as a man choose?
Good question. Next, nice question. For a lot of men, a man will go for the pretty girl with all her form and so on, but to eat her food, Sister Charmaine. That is where you're going with the pretty one too. Just to eat the food, drink some juice and belch. That is where
Not to
you're going.
marry.
Not to marry. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You eat her food, you full your belly, right? Drink some juice, and your Lego a belch. But nah, you're not looking to take that home to mommy and daddy. You understand? And your siblings. No, 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 no. No, we're talking about the fellas who thinking. I'm saying they're fully mature, but they're thinking. They know very well, listen, she getting on like that and think, me really want that. to marry and be in that kind of situation. No, I go. Now, when we're young, as many of us as men, when you're young or you can't get a woman, I want to make it sound bad. Why? A pretty girl? She can have what bad attitude you going for she. Because I mean, you're attractive, beauty. And the thing that catches a lot of men first is the beauty. We're being very real when they're young. But when it comes to that marriage, as you get older and you recognize it, nah. And I, I will say several men, and I've seen it. Me and some of my friends have seen it. A brother, we have seen persons, and I say it like because somebody the person might be listening, so I'm gonna be careful. We have seen men where it is the woman looks real attractive, and they with her, and that woman embarrassing the man. Embarrassing. I can something come into my head right now. Embarrassing the man. And eventually things didn't work out. They done. But he makes sure and he belch many times. Many times he does. No,
Right.
but no. I would say for myself, this is me. When I was much younger, yes. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna pretend, Sister Charmaine, to make anything look any. No, I was in that space. If I could have gotten to be with a pretty girl, I would go with a pretty girl despite the attitude. But then, thank God, very early, same space, very early. I recognized, listen, I didn't like nobody mistreat me. And I remember Sister Shami, a girl run me like a dog. Run me, go from here. Run me in her. After that, I say, never, ever, ever again will I allow a woman or anybody to ever treat me like that. Never, never,
Wow.
never, never. And she wasn't no tapata. Sorry to say. She was nice. She was nice. But she wasn't no tapata. Right? But I learned early to respect myself, to have respect. And I will share this extra thing as I close off this contribution. And I want to even ask you some of your own questions. Um, I'll share this. When I was working construction, I remember hearing from men, just overhearing conversation. It's better, and no disrespect, please, nobody to take no offense what I'm going to say, because I'm going back to construction, and construction men they talk raw. And I'm not going to be raw with that, right? Don't take no offense. Men would say, it's best you link up and you marry a ugly girl. A ugly girl. Because if you marry a ugly girl, she go appreciate you more than them pretty girl. Them pretty girl, them don't feel there's all that, and they lego you and they go for a next man. If you pick up an ugly girl will say, hey, she care about me and thing. And they will go with that girl. I hear men talk about that. That's their plan. To go with what they consider, not what other want, but what they consider a ugly girl. So that the woman, when she for you, she for you. That's an interesting perspective.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Wow. Twisted and twisted. So it's a lesson out there for young ladies, young
Yeah.
women to take. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and
Yeah.
be humble.
Yeah,
Because
be humble.
I think what we have going now is that most women are really qualifying themselves and they are getting certified in different areas and they are rising and they have their own homes and they have everything and they don't really need a man. Some may just go with a man just to have a child and they are good. And I think they are very intolerable of, men because they feel they have reached this pinnacle and I don't really need you. You know what I mean? So, women, we need to take heed. We need to take heed. And men
So, so,
as well. Yeah,
so you would agree that comparing women of yesteryears to modern day women, that the humility was more prevalent back then.
definitely. 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 And I speak from my grandmother, from my mother. They will literally humble. they were homekeepers, they were beautiful too, but they had that humble spirit and they knew how to keep a home together. That's the amazing thing. And don't mind sometimes the husbands may have been, somewhat, not perfect. Let me just put as not perfect. Yet still, the husbands never left them because they know what they have, right? So then going out there, even though they may have gone out and according to you, ate a food, they went right, they went right back home. And that is the amazing thing. If the women of yesterday were brawlers and were arrogant and everything, I don't think it would have built certain virtues in society. So we need to build back those kind of virtues in our young women, today. Yeah. So yes, brother.
Amen.
I don't know
Right.
you
So
want to share. Okay, you want me to share?
yeah,
I've seen people have some things here.
yes.
Okay, I was going to share what some of the folks are saying. Or
Yes,
you want
go
to
ahead, go
go?
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead with the
Yes,
comment.
so Sister Laz is saying, so true, Brother Devon. I like to stay home and watch a movie. We don't like to go out to watch movies.
Hmm.
Oh.
Okay, okay.
So she was talking in relation to what? Yeah.
And I trying to I guess she was just sharing some extra info. I,
Okay.
I can't remember if we did touch about going out
Probably you
or
were saying something about that. Yeah.
probably, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. And she's laughing at your comment. Yeah, Brother Devon, eat a food. Brother Gavin is also commenting and saying that money can change an unattractive woman and make her look attractive. Money have incredible power. Brother Devon, comment on that quick before we move on.
Oh
Please.
God, look at me.
Wow.
No, but yeah, it's true.
Wow.
All right. Men are attracted by what men are drawn by what they see, especially with women. We are drawn. Just being very honest. We are drawn. Women know how to do the things to catch our attention through the visual, right? But that visual is not the be all and the end. It's a step. And if a woman lacks, gosh boy, like they have no word I could say that could be a good word. So I just would run with lack. If you lack some of the things that a man is looking for, and you could pay to have that area improved, well, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so in
money.
other words, Brother Devon, is it that Brother Gavin is saying you may be unattractive and humble, but if it says the man has money, he could make the unattractive woman look attractive, eh?
Yeah,
In other words,
I suppose so.
you put on your weave, you put on the additions and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
like that point. I like that
Well,
point.
and I think that goes on quite often, to be honest. To be
Yeah.
honest, I believe several people start off a certain way, and within your relationship, even your marriage, you look to improve certain things. You might find somebody, a man or a woman, either one, could find somebody attractive and see some areas not all that great. Could do it. Listen, this is the real thing I like about it, but you feel we could work on some other areas and improve those other areas as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Like my wife, she would have met me, and I remember she had a struggle. My wife had a struggle with me when it comes to dress code, when it comes to dress, because Sister Charmaine, I grew up in the era where baggies. Remember the baggies?
Don't tell me you used to wear baggies. Still, Brother Devon, no.
When my wife went with me, I was still in my baggy zone. Still, tight pants and thing. I know it was coming in, but I didn't want to have that because we I the way I grew up and the school I went to, tight pants, you wanted to get beat up if you planning to come to school with any tight pants, right? You wear pants with space. So that stayed within me for years, you know. So coming out of school, I still kept that baggies. And after I got married, my wife encouraged me to slim down on the clothes. She find it was a little too big, it wasn't too thin. And she get real fight down. I I listen, it wasn't easy for her because for me, I was like, this is how you meet me. You know, that was like, this is how you meet me. And she continued to press bit by bit, not forcefully, but bit by bit, and then I continued. Eventually, I cut down the size. Now, this jersey that I wear in is one of the big jerseys that I would have had. It's like my transition. So my clothes right now they're much smaller, and the thing for me, Sister Shaman, part of the reason why I wore big clothes is because of my insecurity. I had that insecurity with my size. I still have a bit of a struggle with it, to be honest. If I be just really honest, right? I still have that bit of a struggle with my size. I'm small inside. And nobody guesses my age correctly. Everybody thinks I'm way younger than I really am. So the big clothes was to cover for my insecurity, right? Yeah, so I believe a lot of persons, going back to the question, there are different things people will do to improve on wherever you have. So
Yeah,
women do it, men do it, men do it.
yeah.
A man might say, wait, think about going and fix this, going and get more of that. You know, so
What?
what do you think about that, social way?
Oh boy, yes, yes, yes. I read you.
What do you think about that? What do you think about the whole more improving when you get married, going back into the guy? What?
I do not really have a problem with it. If it is your husband I mean, he has the where it all the means, the finances and whatnot, and he has no problem, and you have no problem. Yeah, it is a mutual, agreement and whatnot, and you can enhance yourself, in whatever. I'm not talking. Well, for me personally, I don't like no addition of, like say nose bridge and lip, that no, to me that's too dangerous. But if you could style up your hair, do facials, go for massages, do whatever little things, that could enhance, yeah, go ahead by all means. I don't have an issue with it. Buy nice hair, go style your own natural hair more often and whatnot. Yeah, man, I don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah.
But what about the hot button areas? You know, improving the chest size and the
But it's one of the but brother Devon.
what, what's your comment on those? What's your comment? I think when I comment to report things.
Good.
Go ahead.
Brother Devon, listen. Wow, boy, we hit it number 6 here. I personally don't like it for myself. But if it is a woman chooses to do that and she has the money to do it, I wouldn't condemn her. But you know what it is going on these days? It's like you don't know who fake from who real. And that is what is going on. I saw a video once where this man, it was a joke. He got married, this pretty girl, you know what I mean? And on their honeymoon night, Brother Devon, she just started taking off first the eyelashes. Then she pull off the hair, she pull off the bust, she pull off the bum, and he just ran through the door. You understand? He wanted to know what is this. So it's like we need to be to keep a balance. We need to keep a balance. This is my opinion, not bashing anybody who wants to do that. And your significant other has no issues with it. That's between the both of you all. Yeah. So those are my views on that, Brother Devon.
Thank you very much, Sister Shelby. I see Brother
Yeah.
Gavin also added. He said, yeah, money could make an unattractive woman dress
Yeah,
attractive.
that's one he just
Yeah.
oh
Money can put on some attractive weights by gymming.
Yes.
Money can assist even in doing the hair.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
It's true. It's a
Yeah.
true thing.
And that part, what he said about gymming, you can hire a personal instructor who will
Yes.
actually train you and teach you how to eat, and so you can develop certain
Yes.
muscles. That really helps, eh? It
Mm-hmm,
really, really helps, yeah.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, but you need to have the money to do that, and you become attractive. Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm. And I
yeah.
know that could open up more conversations. I'm gonna leave that for the while. I'm gonna leave that.
Yes. So, yeah.
Gavin say what? I never said BBL. What is BBL?
BBL,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gavin, what does BBL
But
mean?
but breast and lips, probably.
Mhm.
But breast lips. I don't know. I
Somebody
just guessing.
somebody help us out. What is BBL? Gavin, remove it. Eh? All right,
You
let me go.
remove it.
Let's move on. Let's move on. So the second point, Sister Shabir, it's up.
Look, he put it back. I feel
Explain to
it's
us what
breast,
explain to us
breast
what
and
BBL
lips.
is,
I
Brother
don't know.
Gavin. Explain, Brother Gavin. In the meantime, we will proceed with
Yes.
point number two. Go ahead, Sister Shabir.
Yes. So point number two, when a woman is submissive, she gets what she desires from her husband. When
Mm,
a woman is submissive, she gets what she desires from her husband. And let's
mm,
look at this word submissive, Brother Devon. Submissive is saying she is ready to conform to the authority or will of
mm,
her husband. She
mm,
she meekly obeys in a very passive way. This is what the submission is about. So this point here is saying that if it is you are submissive, you will get what you want from your husband. And again, with this point, Brother Devon, I want to
mm-hmm,
agree with it.
mm-hmm.
Because you see, what's the opposite of submission? Usurping of authority. So it's like
Yeah.
everything the man say, or let's say your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband,
Mm-hmm,
everything your husband say, you want to oppose it.
mm,
Everything, you have a better point of view. Or
mm-hmm,
you might take the silent. Listen, it doesn't mean to say if you're silent, you're humble and you're submissive. You
true.
might be silent in a rebellious way. If you understand
Mm-hmm,
what I mean. Your
yeah.
husband is discussing this and you disagree with it and you just not saying anything.
Mm-hmm,
That
mm-hmm,
is to me of it is a different way of showing then usurping
mm-hmm,
your husband's authority. And the word of God is telling us that this is not so. So I
mm-hmm,
want to agree, Brother Devon. If it is, this is a true man of God, a man of good quality and character, and you have a submissive wife, listen, I have seen this. If it is you are submissive, your husband, once it is in his power, he will get anything for you.
ah,
I am not talking about the man who is just what he wants to be, abusive, that will have you in subjection and go here, do this, and slap you. And if you ain't cook or if the food has too much salt to it and tasting good, he will insult you and embarrass you and humiliate you because you're submissive. No, we are talking about right thinking men. Yes, I believe if you're submissive, a right thinking man, he will give you anything he can in his power. And once he's not selfish, of course, there are some selfish men that, my God. But this is my point of view, Brother Devon. What do you think about it?
yes, I could fully agree with you. And there's something that you said there with the man, and I wanted to touch on it when you're finished. That once it is in his power for the man that is a godly man, and I wouldn't even let me pause on that because you touched on this with your previous contribution on the first point. Not only Christians. Let's be fair, folks. Let's be fair. This is not only for Christians, right? I know we often think that only Christians do these things. No, no, no. There are other people who are non-Christian who treat their spouses real nice. Don't get tired.
I totally agree. Sometimes better than believing, quote unquote, believers. Serious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Once you
Mm.
treating your spouse good, all right, you have the opportunity for things to work in your favor, several of your desires to come out. And Sister Shaman, when you made that mention about once it is in his power, you'll get that. And that is key for many of the modern day people, both men and women, but we're looking at the man, the man doing the thing to the woman. So keeping it in that context, the man, once he has the ability to do something, he has the power to do something, he'll do it for time. Because we have several people who they want something and they want it now. And they had to wait 2 weeks. And that was, oh, I can't wait 2 weeks. You have me waiting so long. And if you hear several of the older women of yesteryear and so on, they would tell you that they wait their hell years to get some of the things they had to get. And several people understood why they had to wait because there were other things that were more important at the point in time. And like for the responsible man is not trying to put the family in debt. No. He trying his
Yes.
very best to avoid his family being in debt. He trying his very best. And there's a story in the Bible where a prophet did not put things in place before he died. And when he died, his family was in need, right? I don't know if you all remember the story of the woman who talked to the prophet, and the prophet said, here what, borrow some vessels from your neighbors and pour out the oil and sell it. That's the story. That's the prophet. This is the shaman. That the prophet, the
Yes.
prophet, right? So a man is always trying to, a responsible man is always trying to avoid debt, avoid paying his family in certain things. So yeah, you wouldn't always get things immediately. If he um is focused on taking care of you, the family, etc., some things he'll have to wait for. And a man sometimes surprise his wife. I surprise my wife. I surprise my wife. There are times I do things for she and she's totally shocked. She didn't believe I would have done that because I consider myself boring. I consider myself boring. So when I do something, it is like, this one did this, yeah. So I could agree with you 100%, Sister Charmin. Yeah, if you have a good man, a good husband,
Yes.
then listen, you could get real things. You could get
Yes.
real. I support that, Sister Charmin.
Yes, and if it is that you are a submissive wife and woman, you will understand that the man, is working from where he is at. You wouldn't be nagging him and saying, hey, look, this that mother friend, she has this, and what she neighbor has this. You will understand, and you see that will encourage that man, and it will bless that whole union. I have seen it.
Yeah.
I have a friend, and the husband right now is not working, and that wife is so humble and she supports him, and that gives him the strength to go on, even when he's discouraged. She will be the one to encourage him and say, no, don't worry. And I mean, this is not a pretense thing. This has been going on for a while. So I know, and you see little by little, they start to build, and that relationship, God start to bless and whatnot. If she would nagging him right through, you know what would have happened? They would have separated, they would have divorced. So a submissive wife really and truly is an important part in a successful marriage. Yeah.
I could agree with that 100%.
Yes. Yes.
If you pick that right man, yes. The flip side of it, as Sister Charmaine touched on it, I just want to reiterate it. If you pick a man who no good, he gonna abuse you. He gonna take advantage because he know
Yes.
you're submissive.
Yes.
So you do whatever he say. Do this, yes. Do that, yes. And then again, ill treatment. Listen. So for those who want to get married, listen. Choose good. Pick good. Don't
Yes.
rush to pick. Don't rush to get married.
All
When
at
you're in it,
all.
yeah, when you're in your end, don't rush that. Want
Yes.
it, but don't rush it.
Yes.
Rush it. It it it
Yes.
it it I know how I should say. it ain't no playtime.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's not play. It's serious. All right,
It's
Sister
not
Charmaine.
political.
I
Well,
think
I'm
we got some
seeing
responses.
brother. Oh, I see Christine, your beloved wife,
Yes,
saying that BBL is Brazilian but live. Oh my God,
yes.
so how come we didn't know that, brother Deborah? Oh my God. So what is the difference with that? Is it outlandish? And Brother
Well,
Gavin is saying, yes, the Brazilian butt lift is BB. Oh my goodness. Well, we learned something.
yeah. As far as I understand, I'm going to throw out an understanding is the Brazilian women are perceived to have the gluteus
Oh my
maximus.
goodness. Oh,
Maximus. So as they have the gluteus maximus, several women want that maximus. They
that
find
look.
when they look back, they have a gluteus minimus.
Right.
So they want,
My goodness.
so they go through this surgery, and well, I don't know much about it. I know it has some surgery, and I know that years ago they had this silicone thing with the butt surgery, and
Yes.
persons have had some um reactions, some horrible reaction. I can
Very
even
horrible. And I know somebody, well, not directly, but somebody related to somebody directly.
Mhm.
They did that enhance and it was very huge. And you know what happened? It started
Wow.
to leak,
Leak.
started to ooze. And they had to end up doing surgery and couldn't sit on it. They had to only lie forward, lie on their stomach. You can imagine how painful that was. So they now had to come because one side now was deflating and one side was still up. Yeah, so they had to do surgery. It was real painful and beside painful to the pocket and the physical. So that is why, these things we really ought to be careful.
Yeah.
We ought to be
Yeah.
careful.
And
Yeah.
I think that is where it might feed into, correct me if I'm wrong, it might feed into your position where it is you don't really support or encourage that, at least for yourself,
Yes. Yes. Correct.
in terms of the enhancement or improving of
Yes.
oneself for
Yes.
attraction.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would
Quite
say,
so.
I would, the embarrassment, like there's nothing good for the woman who would have done that and had to go through that horrible experience. I know I wouldn't laugh at anybody who went through anything like that. My heart will go out here because
Yes.
pain is not fun and
Yes.
games,
It's
nothing
not
to laugh
nice.
at,
Yes.
and the embarrassment, the money, yeah, so.
Yes.
Yeah, so the
Yes.
Brazilian butt lifts, but it have plenty of them. And some men, Sister Shaman, they do business, you know. They don't care if it's real or it's fake. Once, once they could bounce.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, I suppose to each his own. Yeah.
To each his own. If you have
Yes.
point number,
Yes. Let's go to number 3.
yes.
So number 3 says, when a woman is trustworthy, she can control her husband's finances. I like to read them twice. When a woman is trustworthy, she can control her husband's finances. Yeah? So let's look at the word trustworthy. Trustworthy means able to be relied on, able to be relied on as honest or trust or truthful, right? So it means that your husband can rely on you as being an honest and a truthful person.
Oh,
And
Sister
brother,
Shaman,
sure,
can I interrupt you? May I please
sure,
interrupt you before you give your
sure.
full? When I read this, just as you said, you like to read things twice. Me too. I read that about probably even 3 times. And I was like, but you will give your contribution. But I just wanted to just interrupt it just to say, I was wondering, is it simply somebody being trustworthy and controlling, quote unquote, my finances? I put that in quotations, so that's my finances, but I, I, I don't know if it's trustworthy. I in my mind, I think you have to. Well, it depends. I guess now. What do you mean by controlling the finances? Um, if control means managing, then I would think you should have financial management skills. I might trust you for certain, a lot of things I might trust you for, but that don't necessarily mean I'll put you in charge of the finances, right? So my mind is anyway. I wanted to plug in that. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Well, I want to say I understand what you are saying. So not because then the individual may be trustworthy, may be honest and truthful, you will put your whole finances, your whole financial management into that person's hands. That's what you're trying to say, because they may be trustworthy, but probably do not have sufficient wisdom in to know how to invest, when to invest, to know how to control. Somebody may end up taking advantage of them, scheming them or so on. So I understand that point and I want to totally agree with it also. But the other side of it too is that if you are honest as a wife, you're honest, because some women scheme men, they scheme it and they don't even know. I know of a fella, but he was not easy himself. He used to be very unfaithful to this girl. And she didn't tell him one word. She said, okay. One day he ran her in the street with a cutlass and so on. And when she started to play real humble, but this was a pretense, eh? And she started to save. When he bring home the money, she's from wherever he worked, she started to pull out some, and she saved up thousands of dollars. And she didn't tell him when he going to work. One day, she went and she bought an airline ticket to America, and she had it there. And he went to work normal. And when he came back, everything was gone. And up to this day, he never found her. You understand that? But she played the humble role, But he looked for that. If you know what I'm saying, he was controlling and abusive to her. And she said, okay, no problem. I will get you. Yeah, he literally told me that. He called complaining. And I was like, why are you even complaining? You know what I mean? So I think if you're honest, then your husband is able to say, okay, well, hon, look, I have, look my bank card then. You know, you could take my bank card, go shopping, buy your groceries, pay the bills, and don't expect her then to scheme out a little 3,000 and put it somewhere. That is the kind of thing I think they're talking about. When they talk about that control, meaning then he's free with her then. He's free to allow her, into his space. He is free. He feels comfortable then that even though she knows that he may have a certain portion of money, she wouldn't dip into the cookie jar and do whatever with it and buy a set of clothes, the unnecessary things and whatnot. And I want to agree. So in this way, really and truly, you could control your husband, that control in quote, in quote unquote, because I take your point that in your mind you were, dealing with there. So I want to again agree with this statement, Brother Devon. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, the way
Want
you
to add
did that,
anything?
yeah, the way you did that explanation was a fantastic job, and I could agree with that as well. Once you have that relationship, that level of relationship, trust, then yeah, I could see a man, allowing his woman to quote unquote control his finances. Yeah, yeah. Managing it, what to spend and thing. All right, they got to refine. They will have to decide that. But yeah, control. Yeah, that trust level. Because I think I've heard it in several counseling sessions that couples should find out the strengths and the weaknesses of their partner.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
if when it comes to the money, either party is stronger with the finances, let that person manage the finances. Let that person handle the budgeting. And what I will add, I don't think I've ever heard this part, what I'm going to say. But you're bringing up your partner to that level of learning to manage the finances. And so if that's a
Mhm,
weak area for them, you help them to grow and to be strong in that area. So
mhm.
both of you all can manage your finances, right?
Yes.
Eventually. Yeah. So I believe like for me, when I look at a marriage, I look at a marriage as an opportunity to grow. My wife has some strength. She has greater strength when it comes to the technology, the computer, sending stuff and so on. That is not my strong area. So but I can handle the computer a bit. It's not like if I don't know the little spot, I can handle a little thing. But she will carry me to the next level. And where I strong in certain areas, you know, I will carry her to the next level. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Shang.
Yes. Okay. So we could
I'm
move
watching I'm watching the time, but I know it have
any time as
18 in
well.
all.
Should
So
we
so
want to
so should
stop here?
I'm gonna give you that. If you want, we can stop here. We could do one more.
Let's do
Um,
one more
one more.
and then yeah.
And then we close it. So, folks, thank you for joining us thus far. We are asking the question ultimately, if a woman's virtues equal marital success. And we are going through what we could consider some virtues. We went through point number 1 to 3. Let's just run through those and then we have Sister Charmaine read point number 4. We'll touch on that and then we close off. Point 1 was when a woman is humble, she becomes a natural charm to her husband. Second one stated, when a woman is submissive, she gets what she desires from her husband. And the third one was, when a woman is trustworthy, she can control her husband's finances. We just dealt with that. And all this is done, all this is under, I believe, Mr. Steve or brother Steve Nandwa. I want to give credit to the author, I perceive, based on the content here. And the heading this individual has is marriage is give and take. So we place things within the within our heading of um, does a woman's virtue equal marital success? So Sister Shamin, you could read the fourth one.
Yes, so the fourth point says when a woman is hospitable, she can host her husband's meeting. Oh, this one. When a woman is hospitable, she can host her husband's meeting. All right, let's look at the word hospitable. Hospitable means friendly and welcoming to visitors or guests. So, Brother Devon, I have a little joke with this particular point. My brother once said, right, that after work they went by this friend of their own. The friend was real boasting, oh, you come and making this, my wife will cook this, my wife will cook that, and so forth. And when everybody, the boys and them went afterwards now, and he gone inside, honey, I'm home. And the wife say, you're home, and she start with that and his lambase. My brother said, all the fellas and them just made a right about it and went out. And his nickname on that job from that day on was Honey, I'm home. Because so no, that is really embarrassing. Eh? And these police officers, so you can imagine. Imagine. So the point I am trying to make here is that if your wife is not hospitable, she's not friendly and welcoming, your relatives wouldn't want to come, your friends wouldn't want to come, nobody wouldn't want to come by you for whatever occasion you may have. You know what I mean? Or if they come, they might just drop something and run. But if it is you are hospitable, if it is you are hospitable and welcoming to friends and family or whatnot, you can host your husband meeting. For instance, if your husband is probably a big executive and he will normally have little meetings in his homes, or well, not virtual meetings, at his home or wherever, you could more than afford because you have that personality, you're kind, you're welcoming and whatnot. So, yeah, so I agree with this point. He can trust you then, in the company of his colleagues and family, friends, and so on. Yes? What do you think
Mm.
about that?
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I agree with that. When a woman is hospitable, she can host her husband, and men want to feel a sense of pride. Sometimes it's a show off thing, to show look
Yeah.
my wife, look at my wife, and she could do things or come to my home, and you feel comfortable when you are at that point of inviting people in your home. When you are at that point, you want to make people feel comfortable, as you use the example with parents, friends, and all that, family and all that. Yeah, I don't want, if I have to bring my family or my friends or others here to my home, that they end up feeling uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a nice thing. But again, that is with the kind of man who recognizes your humility is a part of it. We go back to point number one, and just as you mentioned, Sister Shami, the trust. Trusting your wife and so on. She's trustworthy, right? So yeah, I believe this is a good point for the man who is that faithful man to his wife and recognizing um, her hospitality. If you are a woman and you're with a man who you're really business, well then always hang it swing. He don't really care.
Yes.
So that is just problem. But this is a beautiful point. I like this point number 4. This is Shaman?
Yeah. Yes, so I think we will end with this point,
Yes,
yeah, because
yes,
the time is already 11 minutes after 9.
yes,
So, I think the conversation was interesting and enlightening, Brother Devon. We want to thank those who participated,
yes.
and we will see you next week, please God, once we are able. So have a good week ahead. God bless you all.
God
Get back.
bless, guys. Blessing.